Guys, Tempo Storm Glaurung here, and I just wanted to take a couple minutes today to go over with you guys my thoughts on Malthael as a hero overall and what talent build I like to go personally and like the pros and cons of each situational talent. So jumping right into try mode, we can look into his kit. Level 1 has been a bit of a discussion point throughout the competitive heroes scene for a while. Particularly throughout North America, we've been choosing Untitled Horse for a long time. I think that this talent is by far and away the strongest. People do, however, make an argument for Fear the Reaper, and I do think Fear the Reaper and Death's Reach do have a place with certain playstyles, but overall, I feel like the rotation speed you get from Untitled Horse makes it the best talent by far. And then, Malthael's level 4 has gotten worked and touched quite a bit, but I still think Die alone gives you just too much power in the overall 1v1. The fact that you're able to mark both heroes and minions and still get value from the level 4 is pretty nutty. Like, I'll illustrate once Arthas walks up here. And then level 7, I feel like this is the biggest discussion point that I wanted to go into making this video. Throughout the Eastern Clash, we saw a lot of Malthaels choose Cold Hand, and occasionally a Touch of Death will be seen situationally versus high sustain healers or compositions in general. Like sometimes versus Stukov or Alex Straza, you can see Touch of Death. But yeah, mainly I just want to give my input and perspective on the level 7. I think that Massacre is by far and away the strongest level 7 talent here. I think this talent alone generates similar amount of threat and pressure to a heroic ability. I think that this level 7 talent is actually on par with both of his ultimates as far as versatility, skill, and things of that nature. And once I hit level 7, pretty much any time I engage, I open using a Wraith Strike to spread my mark to the target I'd like. Not only does this mix up your approach, it in general is safer too. So for example, if Arthas were to walk away from the minion, I can tag just the archer here, and within a certain range and radius you're able to approach through that manner, allowing you to avoid enemy CC, just play a little bit more sneaky. And if you're able to survive one round of cooldowns and you get your second mortality or massacre out, in general you're able to just create so much pressure and deal so much damage that you win the fight outright. And the level 10 is an interesting discussion. I think that with Massacre, Last Rites is very strong. You're able to have like the pressure of Tormented Souls through your level 7 talent while still having the lethality of Last Rites. However, in some games, I'd say it's like a 80-20 split between Last Rites and Tormented. In some games, it's just you need to survive that first round of cooldowns so badly, and you need to initiate and have just a big button that forces enemies to run away from you, then you can still go Tormented. Like in compositions where they threaten a heavy one-shot and they have either an Uther or a Rhaegar or a Bunker, like some way to avoid Last Rites consistently, then you can opt into Tormented Souls. Overall, I think that Last Rites is the best option. And level 13, this is another discussion point. I think just like raw mathematically, I haven't done the calculation for you guys here on the video, but like the amount of healing you get overall from Soul Siphon since the changes is not enough to justify the pick, I think, when he has 2 talents. Really, these 3 talents are pretty situational, I think, but Inevitable End and Shroud of Wisdom are my favorite. Having an activatable 4 seconds of 50 spell armor is really useful. You're able to, you know, pop it early and then engage with your Massacre off it while you have Spell Shield active. Just long enough to survive and get that second W to reapply your marks. So Spell Shield, generally I use it like that. Inevitable End I pick versus high CC, and of course you gotta be cautious about losing all your Reaper's marks, but you can react to a lot of CC with Inevitable End. It changes the matchup versus Garrosh a lot, versus ETC, versus Stukov even. Suddenly Stukov's WE combination post level 13 isn't a major threat. Overall, lately I've been picking Shroud of Wisdom the most, but Inevitable End and Ethereal Existence definitely have a place. This one you really should only take if they have pretty much only auto attack damage. Level 16, I don't think there's much of a discussion to be had. I think Soul Collector synergizes with the level 4 choice. It's a very, very strong option, gives you more sustain. And you just gotta be a little bit cautious of the mana consumption post level 16, but pretty much in any team fight, you're gonna be able to spam Q to no end. And then at level 20, in Hero League, I've seen a lot of people go Angel of Death. I don't think that's ever the choice. Having a buyback potential, no one can stop death, the ability to revive at any point late game. You can commit with Last Rites, really hard to trade just 1-for-1. Utilize your res and suddenly you're at a numbers advantage and the game can turn in your favor. So I think he only realistically has one talent choice at level 22. And then I guess the one last tip I can give going over Malthael is I recommend for his level 13 talent just having some sort of hotkey. Like for me, I use F, but for either Self Cleanse or Spell Shield, it's really nice to just have an ability that you can press. Anyways, guys, it's been Glaurung here with Tempo Storm. Hopefully you enjoyed this video about Malthael. Hopefully you learned something, and I will see you guys next time.